Welcome back to Dear Black Girl. On today's show, we are talking about style and the story it tells about who we are. For all the younger girls viewing today, you can attest to the judgment that oftentimes exists when you're not wearing the most trendy items. To all of the older girls watching, the women, you can probably attest to a long, arduous journey of finding your own style and trying to figure it out if it's acceptable.
That's right, Carlene. Women can often be so judgmental of their own selves because they're not tall enough or short enough, skinny enough or thick enough. Some are hoping to gain a few pounds so they look better in their clothes, and some are hoping to lose a few pounds. It almost seems like we're always trying to become something we're not. Well, today's show is about accepting who we are and dressing in ways that not only look good, but also feel good.
So, on today's episode, we're going to chat with a style expert about that journey. And then, after that, we're going to come together as a dream team and debrief. I'm looking forward to that. But before we begin all of that, let's bring out our founder, our mentor, Coco. Please welcome her.
Hello, everyone. Excellent job, ladies. I'm so proud of you over and over and over again. Thank you so much, Carlene and Skyasia. Welcome back to Dear Black Girl. This is season 4, episode 2, and we are so thrilled to have this conversation today with the Style Marshall. The girls will introduce her, but we have a phenomenal guest in store. I want to talk a little bit about style and fashion. We'll figure out if those are two different things or not. But many of you have experiences where maybe you were teased or bullied because of what you have on or had on. And some people can say, style and fashion, it's all frivolous. But the truth is, this does affect the esteem of our young Black and brown girls. And so we want to discuss it. We want to chat about it. We want to make sure that our girls know that they are more than what they wear. We also want to know, does God care about fashion? Does God care about style? We'll find out today. So stay tuned. We want you to share this broadcast. Please, if you are on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you know when we are live. And stay tuned. We have so much in store. It's going to be an exciting time today. I want to tell a little story. When I was younger, I went to sleepaway camp. Not camp, it was a school trip. And there was a young gentleman there, and he made a joke about the shoes that I had on. And I lie to you not, guys. I still remember his name. I still remember where I was standing. I still remember that exact experience to a T, because that moment embarrassed me so much. And it wasn't so much so the shoes that I had on, because my single mother was doing her best and she got me a pair of shoes from Payless and I wore them, because what was I going to do? But it was the fact that a lot of kids go to school every day and they may not come home and tell you, but they are teased. They are tortured. They are tormented because of what they have on. And the solution isn't getting them better clothes. The solution isn't getting them the brand name sneaker over the Payless sneakers or the non-brand name sneakers. The solution is reminding our children who they are, reminding them, regardless of what they have on, it is what they have put on internally that matters, right? Putting on godliness, putting on love, putting on kindness, putting on strength and confidence and self-worth. That's what matters. Those are the clothes that we want our kids to adorn themselves with. So we're going to get into it today, but I want you to open up your ears. I want you to have this conversation with your children, your nieces, your nephew, your godchildren, any child that is in your environment, in your community. Make sure that they know that they are so much more than what they wear, and that other people are so much more than what they wear. We're going to talk about the mean girl syndrome today, the you can't sit with us kind of behavior. Our girls have a lot to say. We had a session yesterday to prepare, and they had some incredible things to say. So they're going to share it with you. But before we get started, I always want to remind you that you have the ability to impact this work that we are doing here today. I want to invite you to sponsor a girl by going to www.dearblackgirl.us and sponsoring a girl. And we're going to ask you once again, share this broadcast. You don't know who needs this. Thank you for being with us today. I'm going to bring up the girls who are going to interview. We have Margelle and we have Brielle, And this is Brielle's very first interview. So we invite you to celebrate her, put things in the comments in the chat so that she knows that you are with her and that she's doing a great job. Have a wonderful interview, girls. Love you guys so much.
Thank you, Coco. I'm really excited about this interview, especially because this is my very first interview as a member of the Dream Team.
Brielle, you are going to do an amazing job. I'm here to support you the entire way. Well, let's get started. Danielle C. Marshall, also known as the Style Marshal, is an IMDb credited costumer for film and television and a celebrity wardrobe stylist based in New York. Her clients range across industries, both celebrity, corporate, arts, and entertainment. Danielle styles for fashion shows, photo and video shoots, marketing campaigns, and award shows. She also does closet makeovers and personal styling for client events such as weddings, red carpet, and TV appearances, so also rebranding for websites. Her keen eye for details and fresh approach to styling makes Danielle the perfect fit to balance both sophistication and groundbreaking fashion trends. Her professionalism, charisma, and sheer talent are evident and highly demonstrated in all of her projects. Because of her versatility and creative mindset, Danielle is an influential style icon of her times.
Welcome to the show, Miss Danielle. We're really excited to chat with you today. Please tell us a bit about your fashion journey and how you discovered your unique style.
First of all, thank you guys so much for having me. You are doing such a beautiful job, Brielle and Miguel. Brielle, for your first time, congratulations. You're doing so awesome. You both are beautiful girls, and I'm so honored to be with you and that you would have me on the show. So my journey started your age, I would say, Brielle. I think you're 9, right?
8.
You're 8, okay. So around that age, even then, I was really into fashion. I love to like pick my own clothes. My mom would allow me to, but I'm a pastor's kid, so I could pick my own clothes, but they were very strict with what I chose, you know. But I was always into like colors and patterns, and I just love to mix and match. I love to like accessorize, even though they were like, okay, well you got to wear this skirt or wear these shoes or these tights. I found my style a lot then, and they used to take me to really nice stores, really nice kids boutiques. So that's where I kind of saw like different fabrics and just different styles. So me being around in these stores a lot kind of caught my eye, and I started to like see things differently. And I just would like, Mom, I want that, or can I have that? Or, I wanted to like buy the whole store sometimes. So it really started then with my mom allowing me to dress myself. But then as I got a little older in college, and then I worked part-time while I was getting my graduate degree, I worked in a store. I worked in a department store called Bloomingdale's. And that's when I knew that I had like a passion for it. It was more than a hobby. I was just really good with like dressing other people, and the clients would come back to me, and just to make sure that I can hook them up for their next party or wedding or event. So I would say it started at 8, 9 years old, and then as I got older in college, it just kind of like I saw that God really wanted me to help people learn their style and create a whole new look for them.
Wow, like at that time, my age, like around 9 or so, I was like being dressed by my mom.
Yeah.
I actually did, when I was smaller, I actually did like envision myself opening like my own boutique and so on.
Yeah.
Because like in designing clothes, because that just sounds like something fascinating.
Yes.
So, Miss Danielle, in a choice between trendy clothes or classic clothes, what is your choice and why?
I would say classic, even though I do love trends most of the time. I would say classic because guess what? They never go out of style. So you can wear them season after season, year after year. I'm not really stuck though on classic all the time. I think it depends on where I'm invited to or what I'm doing. Um, for instance, my church today had a throwback Sunday. So I wore this like bomber from a thrift store and some acid wash jeans and some ones. Nothing is classic about that. You know, a bomber jacket. I mean, bomber jackets were not like really hip back in the day, but you know, back in like the 80s, 90s, I definitely am a classic woman. And I think because it just never goes out of style and you can just wear it from year to year. You may have to, obviously, you're going to have to switch it up. So, say you have your favorite like black dress. Once you wear it several times, several seasons, you're going to have to replenish and, you know, get a new one. But I think like a classic black dress, pearls, black heels, a black bag. Um, I actually love leopard. I'm a huge leopard fan, ladies. And it's a classic print and it will never go out of style. I don't care where the trend, what happens with the trend, you will always see leopard pop up or you will see like plaid come up. So I like to mix and match, but I'm definitely, I would say, a classic girl.
Oh, like for me, I don't really like care whether it's trendy,
Yeah.
classy. If I see something trendy that I like, then I
Yep.
might get it. And if I see something classy that I like, I might get it. What about you,
I'm the
Brio? Do
same.
you prefer like things trendy or classic?
I prefer more of like classic clothes
Hmm.
because like I don't really like wearing trendy clothes that much because it might be uncomfortable for me or it just could be something that I don't like at all.
Oh yeah, I totally
Makes
understand
sense.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't want to get like stuck when it comes to trends, like it fades. So you don't want to get stuck with one style, you know, and then all your whole closet is based on trends. You have to have something that you can like, you know, go back to, fall back on. And, you know, everybody doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Very true. Some say your fashion is how you introduce yourself without speaking. What if my parents are choosing my clothing? How
Mhm.
do I display my individuality?
I love that question. Love that question. I would say, ladies, even if they're choosing your clothes. I mean, mine was choosing mine as well, but I found a way. So I accessorized. If they're helping you, if you're shopping with them and you're like, well, I know you want me to wear this, but can we get this color? A color that you like, you can always pick your jewelry, pick your, you know, shoes, your socks, something like that. So if they're saying, okay, I want you to wear this white blouse and this black skirt, okay, so what can I do to like enhance that? I can get a really cool belt or I can get some suspenders or I can get a cool blazer, something that will just like expose your personality where you can kind of shine and it makes it different. You're still covered, you're still modest, you're still classy, but it still expresses your own individuality, you know? So I would say you utilize accessories and you know go on YouTube and see what you can make yourself. DIYs, you know, DIYs, yes. Do it yourself, you know, make something yourself where you know you can, if it's a necklace or if it's a hat, that will show your personality for sure.
Yes, I agree. Because, like, when I was younger, I didn't really have the chance to, like, express my personality. But,
Hmm.
like, now that I'm older, I get the chance to, like, choose what type of clothing I want to wear. And of course, it is appropriate.
Yes.
And, like, I'm a fan of, like, 90s jeans and also bell
Mm,
bottoms. I love bell
love those.
bottoms. And I'm
Uh-huh.
also, like, a big fan of boots. My collection of boots will just continue growing as time goes on.
Do you have a place for them?
Of course, I have a shoe rack.
I love it. Yes, it's a shoe rack.
So, what if someone has a different style than me and I think their style is not cute? How do we like determine what is beautiful when we all have a different sense of style?
Well, honestly, it's really not about the clothes. It's who's wearing the clothes. You know, your confidence shines regardless of what you wear. I say this all the time wherever I go. Who you are as a person. I mean, people can say whatever about me, what I wear, the colors I choose to wear, the shoes. But at the same time, if my personality is shining, if I'm confident in myself and confident in like the gift that God has made me, the word says that He's fearfully and wonderfully made us. So all of us have an opportunity to shine, no matter what we have on. It's really not about the clothes. Clothes are great, designers are great, but I mean, I wore a jacket today. It was from the thrift store, $2 jacket, but I can look like $1 million with that jacket. Why? Well, I can look great in that jacket. Why? Because of my confidence in wearing it, or my confidence in myself. My confidence has not always been great. I'm still working on confidence. So as a young person, I kind of had a similar story as your co-founder when I was a little girl and I went to a sleepover, and my parents, again, they're pastors of a church. So I came to the party overdressed. I had on a dress. They picked my clothes. So I had on a dress and this trench like jacket. I remember it to this day, just like she said. And I felt so awkward, so out of place. The girls kind of like huddled up and were talking about me. You can tell that. And I was kind of like sitting off to the side because I wasn't dressed down like them. So, but even in that, like I had to like find myself even after that. Like, regardless of what people think, like, do you love it, Danielle? Do you look good in it, Danielle? And oftentimes you'll find, like, even if you're like doubting yourself, there'll be someone to come along and say, yo, I love that. Like, they'll compliment you. So it's really how you represent yourself in your clothing, how you represent yourself in your style as you accessorize, picking the right colors. This is something that I do with my business, because sometimes darker colors and certain skin tones is not the best. You don't really shine. But if you have a pop pink color or orange or green, there's something about your light inside shining through what you have on. So it's really God working on your own confidence to be able to express that regardless. And people, if you don't like that outfit, oh well, you're not paying for it. I'm not paying for it, so we can't really say anything. And now if they ask you, what do you think about this? Then of course you're like, well, maybe you should try this, in a nice way. So everyone should get to a place of representing their own selves, and being a light for God to shine through, regardless of what we have on. As long as it's clean, as long as it's neat, it's ironed, it's appropriate. You're covered as a young woman. You can still be beautiful covered. And just knowing who you are, regardless.
Yeah, like one thing I learned since growing up,
Mm-hmm.
like the clothes that I wear, they don't have to be like expensive or
Yeah.
name brand for them to look good. Cause like I'm I guess I take after my stepmother, balling on a budget. Cause,
I love that.
'cause I love sales. And when I
Mm-hmm.
wear like clothes to school, I still get compliments. You don't
Yep.
have to wear something like expensive for
Nope.
you to look good and so on.
No. And you
Yeah.
know what? The designer clothes, like let's just say you're buying a 500, I don't know, $500 pair of jeans or whatever. Like that doesn't change your mood. Yes, you may feel better for a moment, but it's temporary. If you have to have through God, you have to have a satisfaction with Him. So it doesn't matter if you're spending 100 or $5 or $1. Like at the end of the day, those clothes do not make you. What's inside is what makes you. And when you're confident and you can walk out of the house regardless of what you have on, I mean, who can stop you? It's the most beautiful thing. It's the most attractive thing for a young woman, young man to be able to walk out the house. I'm going through some things, but at the same time, it's me and God. We got this together. Doesn't matter what I have on. It's me and God. And you show that, people will be attracted to that.
Yeah. So Brielle, do you think that like wearing name brand clothes will make you like popular or so on, or you just really don't care what you wear?
No. Just because of what you're wearing doesn't mean that people will like you. Some people
Facts.
won't agree that it looks good or something. And that's fine because the only thing that matters about it is if you like it yourself.
Period.
Yes.
Period. I love it.
She's a natural. She's
I
a
mean, can I interview you next time?
Does God care about fashion and style? How can we honor him with our clothing?
Another great question. I don't think he cares about fashion. I don't think he cares about style. I think he cares about the person who's wearing them. You know, you'll hear when you go to church, come as you are. You know, obviously there are restrictions to that sometimes in certain churches, but he just wants you as you are. He accepts us as we are, whether, you know, we can afford it or not, whether people like us or not, whether we're sitting in the front or not. He wants us to come as we are. So I don't think he's concerned about fashion or style. And we can definitely represent him by, you know, the skirt length that we choose, the dress length that we choose, how low our shirts come down, how tight our clothing are. We definitely, because we don't want to, that's not for the world to see, you know, and we honor him by representing him in excellence wherever we go. In school, when you get your own job, you represent the Lord by the way that you look. And unfortunately, you know, appearance is the first impression. Like we said in another question, like that's your way of speaking before you even open your mouth. So if somebody sees that, you know, a young girl coming in, you know, really tight skirt on, mini skirt, you know, legs showing, too much out, it may, you know, rub them the wrong way. So, and unfortunately, as Black women, you know, we're already, you know, they're already looking at us like we're crazy or we're not supposed to be in these certain environments and different marketplace areas, and we have to come correct. So yes, God is definitely concerned. I know, I believe that God will be honored through our clothing as we choose daily, and we look in the mirror. I say it all the time, like, you know that if you sit down and your skirt is rising up and it's, you know, really to the point where, you know, you have to keep pulling it down, that might not be the right choice for whatever, you know, place you're going. So yeah, our God is, he wants us to come as we are, but we can come to him in excellence. He expects excellence from us.
Yes, I agree with you because you have to like dress appropriately in like
Hmm.
the house of the Lord cuz like
Yeah.
if you have like on a mini skirt that's always like pulling up, that's not dressing appropriately for
No.
to worship him. And that's going to like get you criticized also in
Yep.
church. Like
Yep.
there's a saying like there's a time and a place for everything.
Amen.
So so there is a time when you're gonna dress in your style, but there's also a time when you have to dress appropriately to worship the Lord. And
Amen.
the house of worship, the house of the Lord, is not really like a place where you can dress inappropriately.
And in the workplace too, certain workplace
Yes.
places, it's just not. And then for women to remember, as you guys are coming up, don't have to worry about that now. But you know, for the older women that might be listening, you know, undergarments, regardless of the size, it's very important. Wearing a girdle, wearing Spanx, whether you're skinny, whether you have more abundance, it's important to, you know, honor God under those clothes too. So that certain things will not show.
Yes. So, can you tell us the different body types and like how
Mhm.
we can dress for them so we look and feel good? Like, for
Yes.
example, an apple shape,
Hmm.
pear, ruler,
Hmm.
hourglass figure, etc.
Sure. So yeah, she pretty much named them. So rectangle or ruler, you know, if you think about it, it's just like kind of like a box. So in all of these different ways or body types, you have to remember that we're trying to create a waist. So if a waist is not shown, we have to make one. So hourglass is pretty simple. Hourglass can probably wear a lot of different things because the waist is already there. But for rectangle, I suggest V-necks and pleated skirts to make sure that like there's some volume at the bottom. Also like to bring you in like corset type tops or wrap tops. So again, with the wrap top, you wrap it around, it creates the waist, and then you have maybe like what did I say, a pencil skirt or like classic cut pants to really even out that rectangular shape. When it comes to, there's also one called inverted triangle. That's where there's more top heavy, you're broad shouldered, maybe top heavy, but then you're smaller at the smaller at the bottom. So where there's volume, you put less patterns, less colors. You bring the popular, or I'm sorry, the pop of color towards the bottom in the inverted triangle because that's where you need volume down there. So wide leg, like you said, bell bottoms, you wear inverted triangle, wear that to bring more volume at the bottom. Boyfriend or crop jeans, a peplum top, peplum tops, which also like kind of brings you in the waist. For hourglass, like I said, pretty much they can kind of like rock with most pieces. A pear shape. So if you look at a pear, it's heavier at the bottom. So again, where would you place the color? Where would you place the volume? That's a quiz. Where would you place a color or big patterns like polka dots or big flowers? If you're pear shaped, where do you think that should go? At the top or the bottom?
The top.
Definitely, because the bottom is more defined. So again, boot cut leg jeans or pants, straight legs, button down shirts with pockets because that brings more volume and attention up here. Bright colors, again at the top, and more muted colors at the bottom. When it comes to apple shape, that's kind of more rounded in general. And so that would be like empire waist. So empire becomes right under the chest and kind of flows out. That could be a top, that could be a dress. Turtleneck tops. Again, that kind of like brings the hourglass look. A-line skirts, A-line dresses. Tunic tops are really good too with like skinny pants or skinny jeans. And yeah, like that's pretty much it. I want to make sure I touched on everything. Yeah. Any questions about those, ladies?
Not for me. What about you, Brielle?
No.
Okay.
There are many young girls like me who are watching today who have very little to no money at all. How can that young girl develop her style? What staples should she have in her closet that she can repurpose?
Oh, I love that. Amazing. So with someone that, doesn't have like, you get an allowance and you want to just like do a little bit of shopping, it's a little bit of money to spare, I would suggest, I'll go back to going to YouTube and looking up like DIY projects. You can do so much with old fabric. You can get fabric from a thrift store. Then I would say go to a thrift store and look for like different pattern like skirts or shirts, tops, jackets, sweaters. And I mean, if you have gotten into sewing, then you haven't made it. I'm still trying to get better with sewing, but you can really redesign a lot of things from pieces that you get from a thrift store, taking different patterns and mixing them. You can use those type of like YouTube and thrift stores. And honestly, again, it goes back to like accessorizing, so like the staple pieces you should have a nice a white button down. You can do a lot with that with jeans, and getting like maybe putting your money towards accessories like belts. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with harness belts. They're really like popular now that you can wear them over your chest and have the shirt stick out. Also different color, like I said again, like socks and jewelry, and kind of like putting those things together to make sure that like you have a whole look and you like a whole vibe. So I would say white shirt, a white t-shirt, white button down, a good pair of like distressed jeans. And those two, you got to be careful with distressed jeans because some churches do not allow you to wear those with the holes all in them. And even if you do have holes, you can get some funky tights. Tights for like $2 or $3. Put the tights under the jeans for like fall and winter right now. and explore with that. You can get like flowered tights, pattern tights, plaid tights, colorful tights, and that makes your outfit right there too with the jeans and a white shirt. So, and then also I would say a really nice another piece you can have in your closet is like a good blazer, like a nice blazer, even for a little girl. Like it's just you can wear it with a lot. You can wear it with a dress. You can wear it with jeans. You can wear it with a skirt, and you know that that's something that you can like interchange your different like articles of clothing with.
Yeah, I speaking about blazers, I have two blazers in my closet, a black one and a light gray one. I
Mhm.
remember like me and my stepmom were shopping. She's my shopping partner. She
I
also
love it.
gives me like fashion advice and so on. He also makes sure I don't come out of the house looking like someone crazy with all these colors and stuff that don't match.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I remember shopping with her and I came across this like light gray blazer. It it's not like short, it's really long. And I think that's what drew me to it. I think it was in Primark or so.
Yeah, I love Primark.
Yeah, but it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. Did
So
you like what did you I'm sorry for your next point. What did you put it with? Did you wear it with jeans?
I wore it with like I wore it today, so I can tell you what I because I went to church today. So
Uh-huh.
I wore it with like a reddish burgundy turtleneck and
Ooh.
like a plaid skirt with the black stockings and my dark grayish shoes. Yeah,
Were they boots or just shoes?
boots. Boots.
I love it. Look, I remember you love boots. That's a cute
Yeah.
outfit. I just totally would rock that myself.
Yeah.
Real cute.
So, what advice do you have for parents who are hesitant to let their daughters style themselves?
Oh wow. Okay. So let them be. Let them be. You never know, parents, you never know how you could stifle the creativity of your child by kind of trying to control what they wear, trying to, every single thing, like let them be and let them breathe. You still, as a parent, obviously you're training your child up as the way they should go, and they have a respect for you, so obviously they're going to have to be obedient. They should be obedient, as to what you suggest, or but give them kind of like a canvas that they can explore and say, okay, this is what you can do, as long as it's long sleeve, as long as it comes down to your knee or below, as long as it's that, or like give them that and then let them explore, because this is where how I found my creativity at a young age. Didn't know that I can make money as a stylist, didn't know I could have a career styling, but it was back then. And I still remember the outfit I picked out, just like you. I had this bright sweater, striped sweater. It was red, blue, black, yellow up here, like kind of like a rainbow effect going on. And I think I wore it with like a pleated black skirt, red tights, the black patent leather Mary Janes. But that was the outfit. But I was like, oh, I want to wear this scarf with it. So can I do that and just put that around my neck with a red scarf, kind of like matched, to the point where as I got to college, my friends was like, where do you find this stuff? Like, and it'll be in three different stores, but yet it all came together and matched so well. They're like, how did you? That was because I was allowed to explore as a child. And don't get me wrong, my parents were strict. I mean, past this kid, no, you will not do that. You will not go there. You can't listen to this. I had all of that. But at the same time, I still was able to, like, I had enough room to create my own look even back then. So allow them to explore, allow them to be, allow them to breathe. Just give them the canvas, and let them, go for it.
Yeah, because like as I got older, I started to like pick out some of my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I pick out my clothes and that like helped me to develop my style and to like know like what I
Yeah.
like.
Yes.
So Brielle, what about you? Do you like help pick out your clothes or does your mom pick them for you?
Sometimes I help pick out my clothes. Most of the time I don't.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to, Brielle? Or you're fine with like you're good with like your mom doing it?
Sometimes.
Too cute. Yeah, I mean, we submit to our authority. I mean, at my age in my 40s, I'm still submitting because I'm going to church and there's a way that you come. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to come to church all crazy, but there's still like if we're dressing up this time, we got to wear stockings. We got to wear stockings. Lord, I don't want to wear stockings, but you submit to your authority and even with that, still okay. Well, I can pick the black dress that I want to wear as long as it's appropriate. So, mm-hmm.
What advice do you have for the young lady who feels ugly or has been called ugly because of her weight, fashion, or sense of style?
I would say, because I have been called that before, I would say to surround yourself with loving people, loving friends, loving family members that can definitely speak against that. Because honestly, I don't want to go deep on here, but those things are word curses that needs to be broken because none of us are ugly. If that's the case, we're saying, Lord, the person that you made, this creation that you made is ugly. You did a bad job. And that's the Lord doesn't make mistakes. So to that young person, that young girl, I'm speaking to the young girl I was, and I've had to like reinforce myself with family members, my mom, telling people what was said to you, and don't taking that on. Don't take that on. Don't take that as a part of who you are as a person because it's not true. And I would say having good friends, good support system, people that speak into your life to speak to you on who you really are, how beautiful you really are, knowing that, you can do and conquer anything because the Lord God Himself thought you were special enough to be here. And there's nothing else anyone can say or do about it. If God Himself created you to be here, wonderfully, fearfully made, there's nothing else that anybody can say to stop His love, to stop your future, to stop where you're going with destiny. So to that young lady, I used to be her. Definitely, I would say I speak against that, and I speak against that word curse, and it cannot stay. It cannot. You will not be ugly. You will not feel ugly. You will be who God has called you to be. You will see the beautiful young woman that you are, that God's created you to be.
Yes, cuz I remember I had like kind of been called out for the sneakers that I was wearing with my outfit once.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was my outfit. I had on like a t-shirt with all the 90s cartoons on it. So it's like it was like colorful. It had Rugrats,
Uh-huh.
um all of those cartoons on it. And I wore like light denim jeans with it. It was a
Mm.
white t-shirt with all
Mm-hmm.
the characters on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered I had like a pair of sneakers. They were Nikes and they had like all different colors on them, kind of like my shirt, and it matched my t-shirt. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to wear it to school, my old school, because I was like given a chance to wear clothes because it was my birthday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Uh-huh.
And so I was given like the option to wear whatever clothes I desire. Um, unless it had to be appropriate though. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to gym because we didn't really change for gym and we weren't really going outside. We were all just like playing around on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that like someone came up to me and was like, he said, "Oh, I like your outfit." And I said, "Thank you." And then he said, he looked at my shoes and then he was like, "Oh, you should have had on forces with that." And I'm like, the type of shoe doesn't really matter as long as it matches my outfit. And
Exactly.
I just like shrugged it off and he was like, "Okay," and walked away. I don't really care what like others think of me or what others
Amazing.
think of like what I wear. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's the thing is, it's like right now, if you're not like wearing Nikes or Air Forces and Jordans
Yep.
and all of that, it seems to like be a big problem, which is it's really not. I
Nope.
think it's because those shoes are the trend, but you should know like all trends are gonna go out of style
Definitely
someday.
fade.
So yeah,
No, it's so true. I love what you said about how you just shrugged it off your shoulders.
yeah,
That is exactly one of the tools that you can, because what difference does it make? At the end of the day, okay, well then can you're gonna buy me them? I mean, not to be not to be smart, but you're telling me what to wear. Are you gonna buy them for me so I can wear them? It's
yeah,
just like people can be kids in general, just giving an opinion when it wasn't asked for. But you did the right thing, and I'm super proud of you for that. Like shrugging it off your shoulders. Okay, thanks. I'm moving on because this is what I'm wearing right now. So, it's a great tactic that you have, and continue to be that way.
yeah. But because I don't really understand like why everything has to like everything someone wear has to be a trend. It doesn't
Yeah,
really have to be.
yeah. No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so what if people are making fun of you because you're not as thick or full as other girls? What do you do?
Okay, so I'm that person too. I am that person too. Definitely not as thick. I'm a skinny girl, been skinny all my life and can eat people out of house and home. So I've been told that as well. And you do what it's like Miguel, right? That's how you say it, your name?
Margell.
Margel, I'm sorry. You do what Margel has done. Shrug it off your shoulders, no one can change you but God. No one. You can change yourself in God. That's it. So, don't allow people's opinions to be a weight on who you are and how you are made. Because at the end of the day, God made you the way that He wanted you to be. So for me, when I was, people say, "Oh, she eats a lot," and "Oh, she's skinny," and this and that. Like, you just have to ignore them. Honestly, you just have to ignore them and keep it moving and keep it pushing. Let them think what they want to think. Have such a confidence in you. And I think once you build your confidence in you, it doesn't matter if they say you're too thick, you're too skinny. You know, they say it all the time when, like, for models, you have to be this certain weight and this certain height. But I've seen models who've actually been super successful that were not 5'8" and up. They have plus size models now. Who would have thought? Be you, be happy in you. Don't worry about anyone else, because at the end of the day, they talk about Jesus. They always going to have something to say about us too. Guess what? If you gain the weight, they're still going to have something to say.
Yep.
So you can't please people. So if you go in knowing that you can't please people, you can walk out, like I said, out the house confident. Like, as long as my family, I'm representing my family well, and as long as the Lord is pleased, that's what worked for me. As long as the Lord is pleased with me and my parents, I'm good.
Yeah. Just don't really pay attention to what others say to you.
Yeah.
You're fearfully and wonderfully made, and your body is the right type for you. You don't have to
It,
you don't have to feel self-conscious. You were made like that for a reason.
amen. And as
So,
long as you're healthy, just be healthy
yes,
too.
a lot as long as you're healthy.
Yes.
So, this has been such a wonderful conversation. How can our
Yay.
viewers stay connected with you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is I am the Style Marshall. Yeah, it's right there. I am the Style Marshall. That's probably the easiest way. I mean, I have a website which is www.thestylemarshall.org, which is going to be up. It's being updated, but I do have one. But the best way to like see what I'm doing, my Insta stories. Oh, I do have a plug though, guys. Do you guys like Christmas movies?
Oh,
Okay. So I have a Christmas movie coming out that I was a part of. I was part of the crew. It's coming out November the 17th on Netflix, and it's called Christmas with You. So make sure you check it out. You'll see my name on the credits. I would love for you guys to like check it out.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Danielle.
Brielle,
So
you
welcome.
did. Okay, she did an excellent job. I'm so proud of you for completing
Yes.
your first interview.
My gosh,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now let's bring out the girls and see what they have to say about this topic.
Great interview, uh, Margelle and Brielle. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about what we just talked about today. So let's start with Peyton. What do you think the difference is between style and fashion?
First off, that was a great question, Kendall. To start off, they can be seen as similar because people refer to it as fashion style. I would answer that by saying style is the inside of you. It is something that can't be really duplicated because it is the inward self of you. Style to me is silent, and fashion is the outward of it. It is usually is something trending. Fashion is what you see. It's in your face. The clothing you wear, shoes you put on, accessories you put on your face, head, whatever. That's your fashion. Fashion wants to be seen and noticed.
That's really interesting to hear. So, Carlene, what advice would you give to a young girl whose parents will not allow her to dress herself?
My mom is always advising me on balancing being body positive and encouraging me to find my own sense of style while guiding me towards appropriate clothing choices for school. To avoid disagreements, my mom gives me two options for the morning. Sometimes when my mom doesn't want me to wear particular clothes, she hides them. Appearance is the most difficult issue for Christian girls, especially young women. What you wear may determine whether your friends compliment you or make fun of what you wear. I'm developing my own style, and that is great.
That's some great advice to hear, Carlene. So, Audrey, how can a girl your age build her confidence without attaching it to her clothing?
Well, your looks does not define you. It's your personality. Describe yourself as a leader through the good way, not the bad. Help others, encourage others who are down. To be confident, be yourself. Don't be like others, be who you want to be. Don't listen to the haters. As I learned, haters and bullies can be mean because they might be jealous or having a hard time at home. They will not be there for you, but you'll always have someone there for you. As in Hebrews 13, verse 6, it says, "So we stay with confidence. The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid."
That's some wonderful advice, Audrey. So, Sky, what's this world's culture emphasizes external beauty. So, let's do counterculture. Can you tell us three things that you think are beautiful about you that's not external?
Well, three things that makes me and shows me that I'm beautiful is my strong personality and how I'm smart and kind to helpful to others. Being strong shows and makes me beautiful inside and out.
That you're so right about that, Sky. And Alexis, my question for you is how can you avoid being a mean girl when it comes to other people's appearance? And how do you handle mean girls?
I think something that really helps is realizing that mean girls are sad girls. They are usually in a lot of pain, which forces them to project that onto other people. Mean girls can hurt your feelings for sure, but that's why it's so important to know who you are. So you know what they are saying is false and motivated by their own pain. I would say ignore what you can and rehearse good things over for yourself, but don't allow yourself to be verbally abused. At some point, you're going to have to stand up for yourself. And to avoid being a mean girl, just treat other people how you would want to be treated and don't treat people poorly just so other people will like you.
That's a great thing to remember when in mean girl situations, Alexis. And last but not least, Brianna, can you encourage all of the girls watching who feel awkward in their body or in their clothes?
Yes, I will encourage them to still be themselves and maybe compliment them on something else not related to their body, but to their personality. I would also say we are still growing and this is not the peak of our lives. As we get older and have more confidence and more resources, we will realize that the awkward girl can really become self assured. At the end of the day, it's not about our body or our clothes. It's about who can stand confidently, anchored in their God given identity.
That's great.
Outstanding conversations, ladies. I hope something was said today that will make summer's journey a little less lonely and a lot more joyful. We've come to the end of today's show, but we'll be back next week with a powerful conversation about secrets. Parental guidance is advised for next week's show. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. Bye.